Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd take another look at the workshop and see what was out there. And today we got kind of a mixed lot of creations, some bases, some stuff for, well, at least a creation in vanilla, and the rest of them are in Reforged Eden. So I am in Reforged Eden for the first five, and the last one will be in vanilla. First one here is the Viper MXW by Earl Grey the Seventh. Really cool looking SV, I gotta say. Uses a lot of the modular wing pieces and things like that. Well, very stylish. I really kind of like in the black and gray color scheme on it as well. As in its functional weaponry and things like that, it is running four rocket launchers and four Gatling guns on here. It does have a spotlight as well. It's an armored cockpit. It is warp capable too, believe it or not. I know it's not very big, but there is a warp drive embedded in the ship here as well, which is very, very cool. But yeah, I definitely like that. This bladed. I don't know. It looks pretty aggressive. It really does look like a pretty cool looking sci-fi kind of fighter. It looks like it would be fun to use as well. It's all manual fire weapons, so you don't have any automatic like turrets and stuff like that. So when you're cruising around doing your stuff, you need to literally manually fire everything, which is great. I kind of enjoy that anyway. I think it adds more to the gameplay when you have to manually target your stuff and fire weapons and just not just completely reliant on like turrets doing all the work and you just kind of fly around. So yeah, definitely very, very cool. Stylish creation here. I definitely like that. Very nice. Um, Now, I did notice one issue, and it's a very, very, very minor issue, but it prevents it from landing. Or I've been really struggling trying to get this to land. I noticed there is, let me get my HUD on here. There's a landing gear back over here that would come down one block length, and then there's also landing gear over here that would also come down one block length. And what happens when I do try to land it is it just kind of like wobbles around, and you notice the landing gear are never connecting to the ground. The reason for that is very, very simplistic. The landing gear come down to say this block height right here, and there's these two little thin blocks right below the where the spotlight is that prevent it from landing. So, like for instance, if I'm not exactly using the right block here, but if those two were removed, then it totally lands just fine. There's no more issues with that. All the landing gear come down and whatnot. So just something to throw out there. It's a very, very easy fix. I'm sure the author wanted to put maybe a little more protection over there, but the way the landing gear work in the game, it doesn't. It kind of looks at like even a really thin block like that as like a full block height, and then it kind of trips it all up when it tries to land, and therefore it doesn't want to bring down any of the landing gear. I figured I could have kind of tilted it back a little bit and got it to land, but I still couldn't get these back landing gear to come down even doing that. So very easy fix there. But again, really cool looking, aggressive looking SV fighter. Let's take a look at the numbers on it here. Unlock level 20, size class 1. It does 29 forward, 20 strafing, 39 lift, 23 reverse, 11 down. If you notice, it's got some pretty insane pitch, yaw, and roll values in here, and that is largely due to, I believe, 28 RCS units in the craft. I first looked at the roll diagram. I'm like, it's kind of a wide body hull, and usually they don't roll super wonderful because of the width versus the length and how the game calculates that. However, this is really compensating for that with a lot of RCS units. Beyond that, it uses a smidgen of estrium and zacosium. Not a lot. I think this is probably mainly due to the rocket launchers, but that's a guess. I don't know 100% on that one. 1 hour and 58-minute build time. Also has a detector in there, and of course, your pentaxa tank and your warp drive, all that stuff in there. CPU-wise, it is coming in at 34,000. It's using 30,159 of that. And let's take a look at your storage as well here. So we've got, let me get to the right creation here. I got an ammo controller at 125, cargo container. Okay, so that's just a box at 125. two other storage boxes, it looks like, as well, at 250 apiece. So not a lot of ammo storage room, but the Gatling guns have really, really lightweight ammo, the 15 mil that they take. You don't need much storage to carry a lot of rounds of that. The rockets, a little bit different. You might not be able to hold a whole heck of a lot of rockets in the ship at once. But then again, it doesn't, on the weaponry too, it doesn't look to me like it would be for a shielded POI. It doesn't really have any kind of weapons on it stock that would be very effective against shields. So, but a lot of other things like exploration, like cruising around, you could take on like most other kinds of POIs that are not shielded and things like that. As in a shield, this also does have a shield, and I better cover that as well. 1,420 on shield hit points on here, so it is a shielded warp-capable ship. Yeah, it does have some different options here too, for power save, as well as the flashing lights. Hover mode. That must probably, I would guess, shut down some of the thrusters, maybe to save some power. I'm guessing. Maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's hard to set. Often the game has the thrusters look like they're working even when they're not on, so it's a little hard to visually identify that. But yeah, definitely some options there. Cruise space, cruise atmos. Oh yeah. So it looks like it has a lot of different thruster configurations. I'm guessing over in this area here. So yeah, again, very, very nice SV. Really stylish looking creation here. The Viper MXW Final by EarlGreyVII. Very, very cool. So the next creation here, this is, oh no, my list is out of order. This is the Dagan MK1 HV by Captain Caveman. And this is certainly a tank. I'm kind of digging the styling on it. It looks pretty unique from other things I've seen. It obviously has a pretty big, bulky front end on here, and I would, if I'm going to guess, I would say there's probably a lot of defense stuff built into there. We'll see though. But I really like this this kind of like guardrail kind of setup going on here, and it was colored a different color as well. I think, did I lose juice on this one as well? Let me. Oh, I did. Sorry about that. Let's get this turned on here. So yeah, you can kind of see how the author put in the thrusters here. They're kind of recessed back for the reverse thrusters behind this really cool looking, like, I don't know, bumper, like a guardrail system going literally around three sides of the tank. Some other notable features too. I noticed that it looks like it's you can top mount this as well as back mount this to something, and then it does have landing gear on the bottom of the tank as well. So yeah, quite a few different things there. You do have your spotlights. As in its loadout, it looks like it's running, visually speaking at least, 4 laser cannons, 2 of these tank cannons, and a couple miniguns, it looks like, for drones. So yeah, it looks like you would manually fire most everything on this one except for a couple turrets, probably going after drones or ground troops or other things like that. So you'd literally manually fire on your target there to bring down the shield with the laser cannons, and then manually fire the twin tank cannons to actually harm the POI and take it down. So yeah, it looks like another fun creation to use. Let's take a look at what's going on. Oh, I like this backside of it too. The stylus block work there. It does look like it's running a long-range radar kind of up on this platform here. That's pretty cool how that was done. How that's going to sit there, and then it's got some extra deco pieces over to the sides there. And little fine details too, like these little texture lights kind of on this area here. Kind of looks like a I don't know what you'd see on different things. The little like running lights and things like that. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, right over here as well. And then all the thrusters are red, and it does have a larger glowy area in the back there, kind of more of a stylish feature again. Anyway, let's get inside here. See what's going on. So yeah, I would definitely say that idea is pretty true, where I mean, the tank's fairly long, but the interior space is pretty cramped right back in here, which I have a feeling that's because the front is going to be armored with a lot of stuff going on there. So inside the interior here, it looks like we've got we got a big fancy LCD over here too. So it basically it talks. It says right here it's going to need 3 aux cores, and as well as you have the black and red color scheme. I got to assume that's what's going on right now. And then you got a light gray and gray color scheme. And obviously you can see a whole lot of shield parts in here. Looks like 12 individual shield parts. We have a constructor mounted up in here too. A couple storage controllers, our main CPU core kind of in that area, ventilator, clone chamber, trauma station, and of course 4 passenger seats as well. And I wouldn't doubt if I'm missing some other piece that's in here. Yeah, we got our armor locker right there and O2 as well. Yeah, so it looks like it's really set up for some good gameplay use here. Oh, and the fridge. Yeah, so it's got pretty much everything you'd want in a tank here. It's just basically saying you're going to want to add 3 aux cores, and it has a slot for that as well. Just because of the nature of the creation, I just kind of wanted to fly around through the hall here on the front, and yeah, you can see where the generators are. Looks like we have our main shield unit right there. Some kind of deeply embedded spotlights in there, which I gotta turn those on and see if they do illuminate through the front of the tank. It did have one right up on the front here too. Let me see if we got a option for that. Oh, yes we do. So let me turn those on. What I'm curious about, I'm gonna manually turn off the front one. This is just for me. I want to know how this is gonna respond here. Let's go here and let's turn off this front spotlight. And now we know we've got other spotlights in there. And that's kind of what I thought was going to happen. And it's interesting. It's the light does kind of go through the blocks, and it's actually casting this kind of interesting shadow over here as well, almost into formation. So yeah, it's just something to know that you can literally kind of embed or bury a spotlight essentially, and it will still make some light in there. Let me make the background dark too. I want to see how that's going to work out. I guess you don't really see it now too much, a little bit in the area. So I would say that the obvious front one here is to really light up the area, and the other spotlights are probably to give it some kind of pretty cool cosmetic effect in the dark, I would say. I just wanted to know. I was wondering if that was how that was going to work out, and it's pretty cool on the effect that it's actually creating there. So anyway, let's take a look at some numbers on here. I like this. I was still kind of looking at the design of the tank here. Definitely like how it's configured and laid out too, and it looks like pretty versatile too with moving it around, since you can dock it on 3 different directions. It looks like nice added little functionality there. So let's see what's going on here. So we are unlock level 20, size class 2, 23 forward, 13 strafing, 16 reverse, and of course it's a hover tank, so obviously you're not going to have up and down there. This is also running quite a lot of RCS in it, 20 RCS in this creation as well. Roll 13, yaw 30, and pitch is 27 on it. 2 minigun turrets, 4 laser cannons, long-range radar, and 2 tank cannons. 4-hour and 58-minute build time. It's going to use some Astrium and Zacosium. Again, for some of the parts in here and the weapons, it's it's actually running an augmented shield generator on here. Speaking of the shield strength, looks like we're at 14,870 here stock. Now again, you are going to have to add, due to the CPU here, and what it says inside too was totally intended for you to add some auxiliary cores to the creation, and it does need 3 as stated on the LCD, and that would I'm sure balance out your CPU so you'd be in great working order. But you would want to do that before using the tank. You'd really want to get those cores in there. If you don't, at the discrepancy, if you're driving it around, it's possible, I don't know, I haven't tested it, but it's possible that it could harm the generators inside the creation, which is typically what the game does. If you try to operate some kind of creation that is over the CPU by a decent number. It basically harms the generators as kind of a payback or something. So anyway, yeah, very, very cool looking tank here. Looks like it would be able to take quite a lot of hits and things like that. Plus, it's got the shield going on too. But again, a fun style one, so you're going to have to literally actively use it like a tank and target and aim and everything else for the most part, except for obviously these guys here would help you out with the drones or the ground troops in the area or anything like that. So yeah, very, very cool. So again, this is the Dagan MK1 HV by Captain Caveman. Very, very cool. So the next couple creations here, let's buzz over here. I got some base things in here. Let's start over with this. Now this is another construction set, and this is by Vermilion, which is really cool. And obviously one of the creators of Project Eden, Reforged Eden, more kind of the merger of the two actually. So this is basically designed to create POIs out of construction pieces. Again, if you played a game like Skyrim or something and went in a lot of the dungeons, their dungeons were set up in the same general idea as what's going on here. They're different pieces that can fit together in different ways to create unique dungeons out of essentially a tile set. So there's all kinds of different connector pieces and hallways and different rooms and other pieces that are all meant in to go together to create something like a fairly large POI quickly. I mean, comparatively speaking. And just look at all the work that goes into this too. I mean, all these parts have to line up, fit together in unique orders. And I'm sure the author, when he was building it, was configuring all kinds of different POIs with this set here. And yeah, the overall looks of it are really cool as well. I'm just kind of looking at some of the interior areas, and looks like it's going to have some kind of different colors in there. You got your hot and cold piping that are kind of set up to go in here too. And another thing that the author probably, something I probably have some kind of flawed ideas on a couple of the POIs I made too is it would be nicer to have big open hallways in a POI and not as obstructed as what I might have done in some of the ones. There's a lot of little issues with collision and things, and the AI kind of getting weird. So having like more open areas like this big hallway area here would be a kind of a nice place to fight the AI in the game and stuff like that too. So I definitely understand why a lot of these areas are pretty wide open like that. It does make a lot of sense for gameplay. And if you're running with more than one person too, if there's single block with hallways, it's more than likely someone's going to be standing directly in front of you if you're in back. And you won't be able to get a shot without maybe shooting them in the process. It just kind of forces you to do that, or only one person can kind of like be shooting at a new room at a time. So having the wider hallways, I think also makes it a little bit better to play in like a multiplayer scenario as well. So yeah, definitely good ideas with that. But yeah, some really, really cool stuff here. Be interesting to see all the of course, like practically infinite combinations that you could configure this POI into, all kinds of different POIs of this, and some really cool features too. Some of these are like purely decorative for the outside of the POI, like this radar dish here and this other kind of radar mechanism. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. A lot of time and effort goes into this, and not to mention you got to give Vermilion hats off too for bringing us or contributing both things in Project Eden and Reforged Eden. These they do a lot of work. Really makes the game a whole lot better for all of us. So yeah, definitely support these guys. They do a lot. They do a lot. This has got just all the things that's going on. It really has to take a lot of time to pull it all off, and I'm really appreciative that they do this. They don't have to, but they do it anyway, and that is really, really cool. So other than this one, I'm not going to look at the specs. It's not that kind of thing, or storage or any of that. It's obviously not a player creation that you're going to be spawning in and using as your base. Now you could take this set and make a base out of it, absolutely. You'd want to save it individually, of course, and then, yeah, again, really, really cool work here. I've seen a couple other authors make this kind of thing too. I think Don 2K7 is one of those, and they all help the game as a whole. I mean, um, just give you more content, more stuff to do in the game, more reasons to play it, stuff like that. So, yeah, again, yeah, I'm not going to look at the specs on this. It's not one of those things that is going to matter at all. So, anyway, again, very cool creation here. This is the Epsilon construction set by Vermilion. So let's see here. Let's take a look at. Looks like that Brit over there with his craziness has made actually quite a few more creations. There's 3 different creations he has up in the front page on Empyrion right now. This is one of them. I just picked the first one I came across, and this is a starter base. This would be. Look at my list is out of order. It's really screwing me up. This is the Uranus Outpost starter base by Spange. Looks like a nice base. It really does. It's a hangar style base. Kind of like this this front area. Ooh, I kind of smashed it in the ground a little bit too much here. I was struggling to find like an area flat enough, and I thought this little hill mound was about the flattest area in the vicinity. But it looks like it's I smashed a little bit of it in the ground where the solar panels are. But I know the floor is lifted up to where it should be. So yeah, obviously running some solar panels. We've got a sentry gun there. Looks like we've got a main minigun up on the top there. Another sentry gun on this side. Just kind of taking a look at its defenses. Obviously, we got a back door to get into, and there's the rear sentry gun there. And then, of course, you got your hangar door you can walk in, so either side of the base. Just kind of admiring the outside of it. I'm guessing this looks like it's made of concrete. Yep, and which is honestly a really good choice to use for a base, especially a starter base. I was looking at the numbers, and the concrete blocks in Reforged Eden, at least, they have more hit points than the steel blocks by I think about 500. So it's no joke. These blocks are actually pretty tough, but they're also very inexpensive to build in game. It's just stone pretty much, and your textures are limited a little bit on what you can put on these on this particular material, but you know it does work out pretty good, and it's probably in my assessment at least probably the wisest material to build a base out of. Or if you wanted more hit points and strength, then you'd go with like the reinforced concrete or the armored concrete, which are going to be the highest hit point blocks you could put on. Especially the armored concrete would be the highest hit point block I think you could build a base out of. Maybe besides Xeno, if that's even allowed. I'm not sure. I think it is. But anyway, let's take a look at what's going on inside here. So again, too, I'm just kind of curious on what you guys think about the new solar panel graphic, or not solar, force field graphics here. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. I think it looks better than what it did, but you know, again, often I just don't want to see it. I just kind of want it to look like open air, or maybe just a slight variation in tint, so you can kind of see that there's a force field there, but it doesn't really obstruct your view, kind of thing. But other than that, yeah, it's kind of neat. I'm glad it's got some little animations, and the overall texture being used here does look fancier than what was there before. So inside here, it looks like we got some storage boxes. We got a fridge stock. Again, this is a starter base too, so just keep that in mind. Storage controller there, and both our food processor and our fridge there. CPU core, we got our Wi-Fi, looks like a generator location, oxygen, ammo box. This would go out the other side of the base there. Our armor locker and our other utility functions here are O2 and med bay. Looks like we got our toilet and shower as well. Another cargo box. I think that's an advanced constructor. Sometimes I go back and forth, and I'm like, is that the advanced one or not? Actually, I'm going to find out for sure, because I don't want to get that wrong either. Yeah, that is an advanced constructor. I thought it was. Of course, I thought it was after the fact. And look, we got another room over here, though. Let's go in this door. And oh yeah, I got a nice little 9 grow plot farming section here too. The essentials to grow in your area, or cultivate for a future larger farm in some other CV or whatnot. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much everything you'd want. You can heal up. You even got a bed over here. That's kind of a nice touch there. And nice looking block work. I like the how the ceiling's done. Again, I turned on a little bit more lighting options in the game too, and and I believe there was an update that kind of enhanced the shadowing in the game. So I've been kind of keeping an eye out for that too. But you can kind of see the very distinctive shadow around this light over here, which is definitely pretty cool. So, okay, so because it's a starter base, I'm kind of curious what's going on with the specifications on this base here. So let's start here. Unlock level 10, size class 1, or under that actually. We got 2 fuel tanks, 2 oxygen tanks. It's got 3 generators in there, 4 sentry guns, and a minigun turret. And here's the neat part here. It's 1 hour and 1 minute build time on this base. So yeah, quick to get in game, comparatively speaking, for a base this size. It does come stock with the grow plots in there as well. It's going to use a little, tiny bits of a couple of these other materials like titanium and neo and sathium, but very, very little. The kind of stuff you should be able to acquire fairly easily, checking out POIs and things, even on a starter planet. So yeah, definitely nice. I think it would stay defended. I've been seeing, again, a lot more use of these sentry guns on quite a few creations, and it sounds like I might have to really investigate these guys again. I put them on some earlier creations a long time ago, but I sort of forgot about them and haven't really been using them much as of late. But I've been seeing them even on combat CVs as like kind of almost like a offensive weapon, and I'm thinking maybe I underestimated the power of these sentry guns. They are obviously a lot cheaper on CPU than what a full-blown turret would be as well. So, yeah, and because of the sentry guns on here, and there's one on each side plus that turret, you would have pretty much a 360-degree protection area around here. It kind of looks like the only place I was thinking would be like right in this general location, but I mean, honestly, that's what that gun's for. If a troop transport came flying in and I suppose some bad guy got right here somehow, yeah, that would be kind of the only blind spot, I suppose. But even if they try to do anything, they would get shot as soon as they tried. So yeah, it's not a thing. It's kind of cool how this was done too. And of course, also the solar panels on here are going to really greatly help with your power management, or potentially take care of all the power needs. It's hard to say on that one. CPU wise, it is I believe a tier nothing. well, tier 1. It's everything starts out as a tier 1 because you got to have a main core anyway. But yeah, very, very light on CPU usage here. It looks like it does have that CPU block in there to bring it up to 165,000 CPU, but it's literally only using 55,000 of its stock at least. One thing I didn't really see much, at least default in here for like predefined upgrade options, like more constructors and stuff. But seriously, you've got more room in here, and it's just kind of open, and whatever other convenience you might want to have in your base, you could just kind of plunk it down however you see fit. And also you got a pretty big open wall here you can put a lot of stuff on as well, where it's not obstructed or anything like that. So yeah, again, very, very cool base here. Starter base, very inexpensive. Defense, all your primary functions, heal up, do some crafting, all that fun stuff. Let's take a look at your storage as well here. So we got an input controller, a pretty big one, a 328K storage there. And we got a box and some more boxes. And we got our ammo box, of course, 14K, which is plenty of ammo storage. for a base like this. So yeah, basically 328K storage controller in here as well, which is certainly going to be nice when you're building up your supplies and things like that. Starting a fresh gameplay. So yeah, does look like we have a landing pad or a nice smooth surface area on the top here, and kind of marked out. Yeah, you can kind of see the lines around here too. So you do have a place to land a creation on the top of the base, and even an HV. You could easily roll a HV up this solar panel kind of ramp right over here and park it up top as well. I don't necessarily see a way from the top of the base down into the base, but literally you just walk off the edge and call it a day. You can jetpack up there perfectly easily as well, so it's not a problem at all. Just kind of you don't even have to use it if you don't want to. But yeah, again, very, very cool base here. So this is the Uranus Outpost starter base by Spans. Very nice work. Very nice work. So let's see the next creation here. This one is I found this in new releases. This is by an author I'm unfamiliar with. This is the Mason Castle Mason Cast 1-3. It's got like 3 eyes behind it by MC Lord Crumb. So I thought this looked pretty cool. This is kind of a bigger, like a compound kind of base. It kind of looks like a large building area. Again, I had some trouble with the area of the terrain. I had to kind of bury a little bit of the stuff, but I think that was meant to be buried anyway. It looks like you could sink this one down pretty far into the ground and level it out. But yeah, it looks like this big facility here actually. It's a large landing pad out on the top over here. Quite a few solar panels, at least in this area. Big old control tower here. That's really cool. And look at that. So it looks like it's unfinished inside. Well, I wouldn't say unfinished. I just kind of open for, if you want to add stuff. There's a great opportunity to add a lot of stuff inside of there. Cool looking texturing setup here too. You can kind of tell that this is primarily built of concrete due to the textures being used here. Some textures you just don't see used very often at all. But it's looking good with the creation here. And we got some like steel textures, kind of like on this part of the building, and some boxes. I like this staircase here with the guardrails and stuff going up in there. Very nice. More solar panels up top here. Got quite a few NPCs for security and whatnot in the area. Another large landing pad over here. So obviously you can park a lot of stuff here. Parking some decent sized CVs down on the bottom one, and maybe even up here. A lot of stuff. And then you've got this kind of like this main building on this compound area here with the balcony itself. That's really cool. I like how it just looks a lot different than a lot of other creations in the game. Just how it was built and the textures used and kind of the general theme of it. It's really cool. And it's quite convincing looking as a compound building kind of setup here. Another big old landing pad over on this side as well. So a huge amount of places to park things. And it looks like also, a big glass ceiling area that also has a staircase to get up there as well. So again, you could really keep a lot of creations in the parked up on this base here. Kind of floating around. I'm not sure exactly where I should start looking at this at, but let's start over here, I guess, and we'll see where we end up at. So I got a big old farm here. I can take a look at the grow plots at the end. I'm suspecting this is 72 right here, but I think my math could be wrong there. So I like this. So we got right next to the farm, we've got our production area. And kind of labeled with the LCDs over here, your output, your raw materials, your armor repair and armor locker. Looks like we've got our med bay right here too, or a couple of the components for med bay. in this general area. Maybe the other ones are nearby here. We got a deconstructor in here. Some more advanced constructors. Then we got a cooking area. Again, very close to the farm. So you don't have once you get in here, you're kind of like set to do pretty much most everything you'd want to do, production and crafting wise. And we can go up and down from this room. Let's go down first. I'm worried that I buried some of this in the ground, but maybe not. Wow, look at this. Wow, this is interesting. So this is kind of like going down, and the theme is different too. It's a lot more high tech looking down here, like a secret lab or something. But it looks like we're running 3 small constructors and a bunch more advanced constructors. Another 3 of those here. Obviously, a lot of open floor space as well. Got this. Oh, this is cool. There's kind of this platform over here with this nice looking deco piece. You got some pictures back there, and it looks like our CPU blocks are right in this general area too. It looks like it's running 4 advanced CPU blocks. Fuel up on the ceiling. And oh, where does this go? Oh wow, look at this. Oh, I feel like I'm in some kind of Star Wars compound here or something. This is wild. I probably because these guys kind of look a lot like stormtroopers, but no, that's cool. Wow, I didn't expect this. It's like wow. There's a hangar door. Did I miss that on the outside? I guess I did. Look at that. So it's got this big old hangar inside here too, kind of underneath some of these other layers of the creation. A lot of room in here to park. Yeah, creations on the inside as well. Like how that links up. All right, so let's take this elevator all the way up a floor from here. And what do we got here? Oh, we got a furnace right as we walk up here. Different theme style too. This is all kind of like fancier white. Yeah, it looks pretty fancy, sophisticated area up here. Definitely nice. A lot of cargo boxes. I like the glass ceiling, and again, you know, when you do glass ceilings and stuff like that, you get some nice shadows and reflections, which I also think help add to the overall detail of it, of the creation. Just something to keep an eye out for. It always makes things look a little better, seeing realistic looking shadows in there. So we got this door here. Looks like we got a switch for it, or well, maybe not for this door. Kind of automatically open there for me. Interesting. Big ramp coming in there. Maybe this is a lockdown mechanism or something. Or that did something else. What did that do? It sounded like I opened something somewhere here. I'm just not sure exactly where that took place at. Huh. Always got to figure out the mysteries here. So yeah, then we got this door going out to this part of the compound. That's kind of what I would call this, is a compound. It's kind of a, you know, it's bigger than your straight up base. I don't know if it's got more going on underneath, or if there's other rooms. There probably is other areas that I've been missing here. Let's roll up this way a little bit, and or maybe down on the bottom. Yeah, we haven't been in here. Oh, we kind of have been. This is kind of overlooking that hangar area. You know, I'm going to fly through the glass here. I know we can go out in the door here. And then, of course, we've got this big tower right over here. That's cool. Kind of red lighting in the section. Yep. And yeah, just some, looks like some outlook, little balconies in the area and stuff like that. Check stuff out. You could use one of those as like a sniper tower or something and have some fun. Very cool. And that goes all the way up to the ceiling, actually. Yeah, very cool. Not to mention, in this fancier, more luxurious area, with at least with the wall painting, how it's textured and things like that, it does have this nice outside area as well to sit in the sun and chill out here on the platform. So I'm just taking a quick look around to see if I missed anything that really super that's super obvious here. Oh wow, like this. Look at this. This is interesting. It's kind of tucked right back in here, and we got our solar capacitors in this room. And cool, kind of a neat looking pipe setup going through here, like all this stuff starts here that keeps on splitting up, and yeah, basically like connecting these solar capacitors to everything, and all the interesting texturing and stuff going on the sides here. That's pretty wild. Yeah, that's neat. I kind of like what was done there. I like the these lights on the top here. What am I looking at? Oh yeah, it's that one block, and there's texture lights on the back side there. Yeah, that's neat. That's cool looking view there. Very uniquely done base compound here, and I like it's detailed on the edges as well. Obviously, yeah, it looks like it can totally be sunk into the ground a decent amount too. I was a little bit low right in this general area here, but not bad at all. Well, anyway, let's take a look at some numbers here. So it's gonna need some CPU on this one. So it's using 520,000. This may be a vanilla. Is this a vanilla creation? It very well could be. I'm kind of wondering if it looked like it had the 4 vanilla blocks. I did not see any Reforged Eden parts in here as well. So I apologize for that. For some reason, I didn't think about it on whether this was vanilla or Reforged Eden when I spawned it in here. But I could probably try to spawn this when I go and take a look at the other vanilla creation to see how that CPU checks out on it. I imagine it probably would check out because it does look like it's running a tier 4 vanilla CPU setup on here as well. So let's take a look at its storage. Looks like everything, most of this is kind of labeled nicely. So we got 160K smelt and deconstruct storage, 320K output, 320K for raw materials, 240K ammo, 320K for bulk storage, and then a number of other boxes and things like that. Looks like they're labeled too for seeds and pitchers and handguns and ammo, and yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Yeah, other than that, let's take a look at what you cost. So to start with here, we are size class 15, so pretty big base. Unlock level 20. Yeah, primarily built out of concrete again, which is again probably the best material to build a base out of. 16 hour and 43 minute build time. Got some posters in there. That is something I kind of wish they would. I don't know. I got mixed feelings on posters in the game. Like, one, it's kind of cool. As an author, putting stuff to the workshop would be. I would like to use the posters, and I was going to on the Scar Megalodon, but then I realized that you can't. They just don't. You got to find these posters or build these posters separately, and as a reason why I decided to leave those off. Like, I think the intent of the posters is something that you acquire in game, and maybe aren't really supposed to use with like a workshop creation. It doesn't really matter, but like me, unless I can go to a constructor and build this, I don't really even know how to acquire it in game. Or I might find it in a POI somewhere, but there's a lot of different posters, and they all got different names too, I think. Like, this is the biker, and this one is jump, and so there's different names there. It's confusing. It's nothing to do with the author's fault. I just think it needs to be really kind of clarified on what's up with the posters, and how they're supposed to work out. It was never really clear to me on. I was surprised to see this. Basically, I just figured the poster would automatically construct with whatever resources it might take, maybe a little bit of wood or carbon or something, and wouldn't actually list it as like some other part you need to supply to spawn in the creation. It's just it's a weird statistics kind of thing that I think is a little unclear on what they were meant for. But it'd be nice to be able to use the posters, and you can. But it's just how do you get them in the game is my question. And maybe it's very easy to do, and I just don't know. And that's probably the case, actually. So anyway, very, very cool creation. I love the creativity in here, and this big compound. It looks kind of like a small city kind of thing. A lot of docking space, plus it's got some solar and your production and farm and like all that base stuff that you'd want in there too. So very, very nice. Again, this is the Mason Castel 3 by MC Lord Crumb. Very, very cool. So, all right, what do we got here next? I think there was one other place here. No, actually, there is not. Let me roll into vanilla here a minute. I do have the other creation set up there. All right. And, well, the last creation, I know you don't even see it yet. This is the FAS Shadowhawk T4 CV by FAS. Once we get there, and get in God mode, let me adjust the lighting here. And yeah, I found this one in new releases too. And again, this is by another author I'm unfamiliar with. I thought this looked pretty cool. Now, just to note though, there's some other creations that I've seen in new releases that I thought looked pretty cool. The thing is I kind of got this policy sort of when I'm selecting creations, that if I go to the creation and there's no info on it or pictures or besides the blueprint picture itself, I tend to overlook those. Even if it was like, oh, that looks pretty cool, and then I go there and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's for vanilla. I don't know if it's for Reforged Eden. I don't know what it costs. I don't know what its specifications are. I don't really know anything about it. And so I've been kind of in the practice of I'll just avoid those creations. Now, if you don't agree with that, it's up for debate. I mean, it's just kind of like this sort of standard I've been doing. But it was kind of a shame because there's quite a few creations out there that just were lacking that information. And again, I made mention to this in the past, especially for new authors and things like that. It's just put yourself in a scenario that you were wanting to buy a new TV, and you went to some store that sold a lot of TVs, and you're looking and you're walking through the aisles, and you see this one, and it looks like a cool looking TV, but it literally doesn't have the price there. It doesn't have any of the specifications. You don't know anything about it. You don't even know what it costs. But they've got like another 100 other TVs that do have the price and specifications around. I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to try to hunt down someone to interrogate them about the information on it, or are you just going to go to the next TV? Figure out, oh yeah, I don't even know what kind of TV is. Is it a plasma? Is it a LCD? Is it a OLED? You just don't know. And that's basically, it's kind of a shame too, because again, I've seen some really cool looking creations there, and it's not just me too, because they typically have very little subs, comparatively speaking, for the picture, and that's kind of why it just doesn't have any information. So I definitely always encourage authors that want their stuff to be seen and noticed, and maybe get up to the spotlight or whatnot, to definitely, you don't need a super crazy psycho post with all kinds of stuff, but you want to know the general specifications. You'd want a few more pictures than just one picture as well. If you're looking at a CV, I mean, does it have an interior? Does it fly? Does it, if you were to spawn it in game, are the specs right for things? Is it going to take off the ground? I mean, if you don't know any information, it's kind of rough. It's even rough for me too, because I don't know if I should bring it into vanilla or Reforged Eden, and then I got to spawn it in and check it out. And it's like, look at the CPU. In some cases too, the CPU doesn't check out in either. So it's just one of those things I wanted to throw out there. And I'm not saying it to be like mean or anything like that. It's just, if you don't have the information there, on a creation that you're proud of, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So I'm just saying it does hurt your creation. I mean, if you're a really well-known author and did that, you know, people would probably know who you are anyway, and probably check it out. But still, really well-known authors always have documentation on their creations or their Steam Workshop posts. This one did. So I'm not even talking about that. I thought this was pretty cool. Anyway, let's get into this one here. Again, the FAS Shadowhawk T4 CV by FAS. And I thought I would check out what's going on with this creation here. It looked like a pretty cool looking combat-oriented ship-like creation. I say ship-like creation just due to kind of like the bow area here. It does look like it could be some form of sailing ship, which I think is really, really cool. And a whole lot of weaponry up top here too. And some other things. Looks like we got is that a multi-turret? Drill turret. Oh, we got a drill turret over here. And this one is a multi-turret. So it looks like either side here, you could kind of set up for this up for co-op, or if you park this near one side or the other, you could mine an asteroid. You could salvage a POI or enemy destroyed spaceship or whatever. Really cool. Kind of like what the author did here with the side block work here too. It's an unusual block formation that we're seeing here, but it kind of creates a texture light opportunity as well. And then we got these kind of diamond-shaped windows and matching support blocks there. And okay, so we're running XL thrusters for the forward thrusters. So we've got a big hangar area. It does kind of look like a carrier too, on the inside there. Well, at least a large area. So I kind of assumed it might be more of a carrier, kind of a battle carrier type of creation here. We got some top hangar doors as well. That looks really cool. I like what the author did with the texture lights all the way around this door area here. And it looks like we've got our bridge, or at least a bridge up there. And yeah, interesting stuff going on here. But the overall shape, I think, is pretty cool. I mean, it's got obviously a pretty big rectangle area over here, but it's just the way it's done. I think it looks pretty good. And yeah, like the red stripes on here as well. Quite a few texture lights, even on this landing pad area here. And it looks like you can gain access to the ship in that general location as well. Oh, very cool. Let's see what's going on the bottom side here. I like the block work here with the texture lights and whatnot, and quite a lot of landing gear as well. We got some turrets on the bottom side here too. A few kind of, well, not a whole lot, not near as many as on the top side, but definitely enough to defend the bottom side from all those pesky drones and all that kind of thing. So let's get inside here and see what's going on. We do got some lighting in here. Let me, I know I haven't done it with too many of the creations today. It altered the lighting, but not too many of them had a whole lot of lights or were very big for that. So this one's kind of like the one of the larger creations for sure. And here, wow, okay, so the hangars, yeah, pretty large hangar. It looks like it's got the stuff you'd want here too. So if you got some empty space, I seen that LCD pop up over there, or extra space. I'm sorry, not empty. That's cool. So literally, you could plop in some more constructors or deconstructors or small constructors or whatever the heck you want to put there. So we've got kind of a utility bay over here, I'd say. So you got your med station, O2, a shower, and an armor locker. Just some quick stuff as you come in the hangar door. And then we've got kind of looks like production alley over here. I definitely like that. I'm kind of a fan of production alley myself. So yeah, all kinds of constructors in here. It looks like these are the vanilla advanced constructors, and more places to put them as well on both sides of the hangar. So yeah, this thing has a lot of production capabilities. Could be working on a lot of stuff at once there, or building high numbers of parts. Let's tour up more in the hangar here. So it looks like we got our repair bay. I like how this is, the decals are showing right where this is at, which is kind of cool. Kind of off to the side there. And oh, another utility area, kind of like the one in the back there. And then some interesting looking blockwork here on the front of the hangar. I've seen that from the glass on the outside. Yeah, kind of like just a totally different design pattern there, and kind of sort of different colors and things too. Yeah, pretty cool. Interesting. And what do we got in here? Oh, we got front access. Yeah, ground access right at near the front of the ship. This journal area here. Let me just see something. I want to see what these blocks are. Okay, looks like we got some carbon and combat steel. Okay, I was just kind of curious right now. Wasn't sure if I was looking at xenoblocks or not. Alright, so I didn't see any other way to the front, which is fine. We had some elevators here, which looks like all have interior LCD labeling system. Oh, that looks really nice. Yeah, very nice. I like that. We got the main bridge, teleporter, medical bay, deck landing. Wow, yeah, a lot of stuff here labeled. So we're obviously on the main hangar right now. It's showing kind of a 5 with storage access. I don't know what that exactly means. Where does this door go? Oh, probably this way, huh? So it goes down too. So now we're on 5. Okay. So yeah, basically, yeah, storage access, kind of like it says. So you can see a lot of the storage or container extensions in the area, and gain access to them. Kind of walk through the this whole hallway setup that goes between them. Oh, that's nice touch there. So you don't have to bury everything. You can get in here and make modifications if you want. Fine, getting lost. So let's see. Well, it goes pretty far. Holy smokes. Yeah, and then more room in here. We got fuel tank access, O2. Wow, that's quite the quite the area. I didn't expect it to be so big down here. Very cool, very cool. I like what the author did with the texture here, with the kind of the texture lights hallways as well. Where is the way out? This one. Yeah, we are. All right, so let's head back up, and we'll head upward in the in the ship here. So let's see what we got here. We got the crew quarters. I like what so the author had to kind of modify each one of these LCDs independently to make the change to indicate what floor you're currently on. So nicely done though. That is a good way to do it. So we're in the crew quarters. Got some more paintings in here. Again, kind of cool. Obviously I talked about that on the previous creation here. How that's set up. Yeah, I like this. So some of those diamond-shaped windows are over by the crew area, at least on this side of the ship here. And what do we got in here? We got a big bathroom area as well. Yeah, nice, very nice. Got to have that crew area. And what have we got here? So we're now on food and engineering. So we got couple pretty big grow plot areas here. I always forget to look at the grow plot count at the end. I did make mention I was going to do it on the other one, but I'm always kind of curious on how many grow plots are here, and I don't know. I guess I'm just not brainiac enough to do the math in my head here. So, what do we got here? I don't know. Does something. Might be on off, or maybe some of these pieces in the area. Maybe. That's on right now. And it's off. Yes, it is. Okay. And let's see. So yeah, this whole floor is pretty much like farming up in that area. These are probably for grow lights, I'm guessing, over here. Well, maybe not. I don't know. What's this door? Oh, the main core. I'll check that out. And we got a shield in here as well, right over in that section. Engineering port. And let's see, so this would be the opposing hallway that way. So obviously quite a lot of grow plots, so I'm going to really try to remember to look at that in a second here. And then we hop up in the center area. Oh, this is wild. This is like a big mission planning or conference room plans. We got a teleporter right over here, nicely set up to a sensor. Detector, and then we're right to the looks like the bridge here, and we got 4 passenger seats. Oh, that's interesting. I like the big conference table in the middle there. Very cool. And got some other rooms over here too. So we got looks like armor repair, armor locker, and some O2 over here. Some observation seats, kind of looking out in the back landing pad area. And oh wow. Okay, so this is kind of getting back into that farm area on the other side. Okay. And I bet you this goes out to the back landing pad. Yes. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So here, let me get the lights back on, and let's take a look at some numbers. And certainly got to remember to look at the grow plot count here. So vanilla creation. So it's a tier 4 vanilla creation. Unlock level 25, size class 9, 201 forward, 101 strafing, 101 lift, 101 reverse, and 101 down. 19 hour and 29 minute build time. It's going to require a decent amount of estrium and zirconium, but again, a ship like this with the weaponry on it, you would expect that. And quite a lot of guns. A lot of guns. Kind of looks like they're following weapon limits too. That's something I typically kind of look for. Like if you had like too many of one type of weapon, then it would you'd have to just basically have the options set different when you fire up the game to allow for that, which it does have the option, so it doesn't really hurt things too much anyway. But it is set to work with the stock weapon limits in vanilla. 24 fuel tanks, 24 oxygen tanks in here. And again, the CPU, fits nicely into the 10 million tier 4 vanilla CPU setup. And let's see here. Wait a minute. Let's go back here and look at our grow plots. 108 grow plots. Okay, so yeah, it was so each set was 54. All right, that was my guess. I think I was wrong though. I think I was going to call them like 72 or something, but I was wrong. So anyway, 108 grow plots. And let's see what's going on with the storage here. So let's see. We've got quite a few controllers going on here. Looks like 8 controllers in this section. Let me see. It kind of looks like they're sitting all at 320s from the samples here. And then we got a couple ammo controllers at 320 each, and a couple ore and wood or harvest controllers also at 320. So it looks like all these main controllers are set to 320. And quite a lot of them. See, 8, looks like 12 total 320K storage controllers. And then quite a few miscellaneous boxes and other things going on in here as well. And armor and boosts and yeah, whatnot. And fridges, all kinds of stuff. Non-perishables, organics. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Anyway, yeah, I thought this was a pretty neat ship here. Again, a new author, you know, I'm unfamiliar with. I like to see what people are doing, and this one was the presentation was good on it, and yeah, the ship itself looks pretty neat. Last thing, I think I just wanted to get a little bit more idea on the hull material. I did see combat steel, and it looks like it is running. Looks like the hull material is that of combat steel, I would say. And let's see if that, and then the interior is carbon composite, it looks like, which makes a lot of sense. That's, if I was going to use combat steel for a ship, I would do the same thing. Have the carbon on the inside to keep the weight down a little bit if you can. And one last thing, I just want to burrow through the front of the hull here to see what's going on. Oh yeah, so it looks like it would be a lot to to shoot up on the inside here before. These are pretty high hit point blocks here, and there's some extra room too. So if you really wanted to, you could fill this up even more and really maybe take a ship like this out into legacy space or something like that. Kind of looks like it could handle that. So again, yeah, very nice. The FAS Shadowhawk T4 CV by FAS. And that is all the creations for today. Very cool stuff again. Really fun checking these out, and I like to see the new authors in there too. Obviously, we know of a lot of different other authors that show up here quite a bit, but it's nice to see some other ones. One other thing on my ship selection, I mean, some other ships that I did skip or has to do with the Anvil challenge, and I usually keep those for the the challenge, especially if the challenge hasn't taken place yet. So I did skip a couple other creations for that reason. So it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal at all. So anyway, you all have yourself a great weekend, and I will talk to you later.